and then the world just turned to white light. The vibration through the floor of the Zenith Spire rattled your teeth right out of your skull. I was standing just a few feet from the terminal, and I saw Silus Vane move. He didn't just run. He shifted like a localized gravity well, unavoidable, absolute, and perfectly silent. The shields on the maintenance sector vanished. Gone. I thought we were dead. I really did. The Vorshack marauders saw the gap and dove in like sharks to blood, engines screaming across the vacuum. But Silus didn't even blink. He waited for the precise microsecond when they were bottlenecked. Then, boom. Everything went brilliant, blinding white as the kinetic batteries opened. But it didn't start like that. 20 minutes earlier, we were all just sitting in the grand hall of the Zenith Spire, breathing the filtered air of the stellar hegemony's inner sanctum. It was supposed to be a day of pens and handshakes, not kinetic batteries and electronic warfare. I was a junior aide then, trying not to trip over my own feet while the heavy hitters discussed the fate of the galaxy. Ambassador Era Vance walked in, Silus right at her shoulder. The energy in the room shifted the moment they crossed the threshold. Alien delegates trembled, terrified, not at a bodyguard in a suit, but at a Death World apex predator. Even the High Chancellor's scales rippled in frantic unease. Silus? Still. Perfectly still. The kind of stillness that makes you check if the air itself is moving. Era took the podium. She didn't apologize for him. She told the assembly that a species that hides its teeth is more dangerous than one that shows you how to sheathe them. Bold. Polarizing. She explained Silus wasn't there to intimidate. They were showing what human self-mastery looked like. We don't deny our capacity for violence. We deny its control over us. For a moment, I think the delegates almost believed her. Almost. Then the alarms hit. Not a drill. Vorshack marauders dropped out of warp on our doorstep. They wanted the Spire, not diplomacy. Hegemony security forces collapsed instantly. Screaming, feathers flying, scales clicking in panic. Docking bays took the first hits. But Silus? Already at the tactical hub. Not looking at the explosions. Calculating patterns. Watching their every move, predicting the next 3 before they made the first. Maybe he's just built different. Information is the only ammunition that never runs out. That's what he whispered as his fingers danced across the interface. The shields failed. Power surged. The High Chancellor met Silus's cold, terrifying competence and handed over the emergency override codes. And then he did it. No hesitation. Overrode the system like ordering a coffee, the station groaning under the strain. Maintenance Sector 4? Shields dropped manually. Just like that. The Chancellor shrieked. Silus leaned into the console, eyes tracking 1,000 data points at once. He baited them. Lure and lock. The marauders took it hook, line, and sinker, thinking they had found the soft underbelly of the hegemony. They never stood a chance. The second their lead ships cleared the bottleneck, Silus triggered the concealed kinetic batteries. Not a sound, it was a physical pressure slamming into my chest. White-hot tracers shredded the vacuum. Electronic warfare suites scrambled the marauders' navigation, flying blind into a hurricane of lead. The entire fleet crippled in 4.7 seconds. 4.7 seconds to turn an invasion into a junkyard. Silus could have finished them. Targeting locks, full power. One keystroke could have wiped them out. But he didn't. He shifted the grid to non-lethal suppression. Calmly, he instructed the comm officer to dispatch medical teams to the survivors. The delegates stared, stunned. They expected bloodthirst. They didn't get it. They got restraint. After the fire went out, the hegemony voted. Unanimous. Human membership was confirmed. Not because we were strong, they already knew that. Because of Silus's restraint. He held the power of a god and the mercy of a saint. That was the ultimate proof of human fitness for the stars. A few hours later, I followed him to the brig to see the marauder leader. Quiet. Still. Silus looked at the prisoner through the energy field and said, "Humans are survivors who value life because we know how easily it is lost." It wasn't a threat. It was a lesson. And now, everything's different. Silus didn't return to being a shadow in a suit. He accepted the mantle offered to him, High Warden of the Hegemony. From bodyguard to Galactic Architect of Peace in a single afternoon. I watched him move like he was 3 steps ahead of the universe itself. And truth is, I think he still is. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.